right, my name is Jennifer Engel, and if you don't know me, and a lot of you follow me, so hello. I've been on hospice for 5 months. I have a terminal illness of breast cancer. My estimation at this point is 2 to 3 months to live, but that's just my best estimate. There are no exact signs that will let you know. And I'm gonna call this video Be Still. And again, if you don't know me, I write my thoughts down a lot so that I don't go off track or I cover the points that I feel I would like to cover. So I've heard that there are some people who want to be able to fix me or even take my place, meaning that they would be willing to die if that meant that I could live. And that is a very overwhelming, humbling, extreme gratitude feeling. But I think there are times in our lives where we are not meant to fix something or to take someone else's place, because what the universe is asking people to do is to just be still. So one of the shows that I like to watch it's called Alone. And the last one that I watched was Alone Tanzania, where they take a dozen or so people, they drop them off in the middle of the wilderness. They have about 12 things they can bring, but they have to build their own shelter and find their own food. And the last man or woman standing wins. And that could go on for 50, 60 days. I think I like to watch the show, not because I can relate to living out in the wild or having to hunt for my food. I have plenty of food. But at some point in their journey, it really comes to them that they really have to consider how to use their calories. Because they can get really tired really fast, and if they don't have food, then they might have to reduce their activity. Anyway, also within this show, there are going to be times where the weather is bad. You're just sitting in your little hut for 3, 4, 5 days because it won't stop raining. And that's what happened in the show Alone, Tanzania. And I really liked what one of the women said. She had lost her daughter. I didn't like this part. This is just the background part. She had lost her daughter when her daughter was let's say 3 years old. And it was such a pain to her, like a deep, deep pain, as any parent can understand. And her defense mechanism, she was finding as she was alone, sitting with her thoughts, is to tell herself that so she doesn't experience that pain again, she will never have to need anyone like that again, so that she won't have to experience that pain. The other thing that she said later on is she's sitting in this hut, and all she can do, right? She has no distractions, is to think about her thoughts. And she said, I can have all the survival skills in the world, but it won't matter if I can't sit here and be at peace with my own self, with my own thoughts. So these downtimes are just that. They are forcing us to be at peace with our place, even if that means watching something that can't be fixed. It doesn't mean that we have to like it, but it does mean that we have to find some way to make peace with it. Otherwise, if you can't, it just keeps you in a place of pain. And I know some people think that it's some great martyr or something or it's something great to be like this martyr, right? Like, I'm willing to take the pain. It's okay. I can have pain for other people. But in reality, We are all connected. So if you keep yourself in pain, you're also keeping others around you in pain as well. Oftentimes, people are okay hurting themselves, but they don't really want to hurt other people. But they don't even think about how they are connected to other people. So next time somebody thinks, it's okay if I'm hurting because I can handle it, remember, we are all connected. So try to heal so that those around you won't hurt as well. Times of watching something that can't be fixed, long winter days, endless gray days, are times when the universe wants us to be still and look at what's in our own subconscious shed. If you are still here, well, I hope you're still here. You are if you're listening to this. If you are still and hear negative voices in your head, that is some time to do what I call subconscious shed cleaning. And in reality, it is something that we should all be doing daily, just like taking a shower or brushing our teeth. We are all connected. We are all related. So just as you shower and brush your teeth to feel better about yourself, it also allows a pleasant space around you for others to be in. So if you brush or shower your subconscious, you are also allowing a pleasant space around you for others to be in. I did a video a while back, and I'll leave it in the comments below, as we reflect what is in our subconscious. When should we tune it up? When should we overhaul things? And when should we consider a trade-in? So I'll put that in the comments below. I am okay with where I am. I don't need anyone to fix me. I don't need anyone to take my place. Metaphorically speaking, I've been on a surfboard of subconsciousness, sending light down in the forms of teaching, giving advice, or just allowing space around me for people to feel and say what they're experiencing during this time or about any other time in their life. Sure, the waves get to me once in a while too. I'll fall off my metaphorical surfboard, but I get back up. I keep songs in my head like Lilo and Stitch's Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride or the Beach Boys' Catch a Wave and You're Sitting on Top of the World in my head so that my subconscious can lift me up, even if whatever is going around outside might be trying to pull me down. But it can't. That outside cannot pull me down if I won't let it. And the songs in my head tell those gray days out there. It might be gray out there. It might be raining. There might be things that I can't fix. But as long as my subconscious is sunny, nothing needs to be fixed. Because deep down, nothing is broken. One thing I want to talk about at the end of this video is generally how my teachings and my process works. So generally what will happen is I'll get a download or a teaching from the universe, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. And then I'll get ready and I'll give the teaching. And the teaching is from, metaphorically speaking, the top of the mountain or on top of the surfboard, since I've been using a lot of surfing analogies. And then what will happen the very next day, the universe, God, whatever, will take me from the mountain and put me at the bottom and say, okay, now climb. Or, to use the surfing metaphor, I'll be on my surfboard and all of a sudden I'll look ahead and it's like a storm's coming now, or a huge wave that I've never had to face. And I'm like, why do I have to practice what I preach? Because I swear to God, every time I give a teaching, then God, the universe, says, okay, now do it. I'm like, but I just thought I was giving advice. I didn't think I actually had to do it. And I think that's what happened Tuesday. So Monday, I give the lesson, I have my makeup on, I'm ready, I'm doing my teaching from the top of the mountain or on top of my surfboard singing, Hawaiian roller coaster ride or catch a wave. And then Tuesday I look ahead and the storm and the big waves coming and I went, whoa. So what I want to say about that, or what I'm experiencing myself, is it's one thing to give a teaching when everything is sunny and bright or when I'm at the top of the mountain. But I think it's good to do an add-on teaching when I'm at the bottom of the mountain or see a storm coming or the big wave, which I think is kind of what I was experiencing yesterday. So my big wave, my storm that's coming, is I'm seeing my body deteriorate because I'm on hospice and I have been for 5 months. I went from being able to eat chunky soups twice a day or so till lately I feel better if I just eat like peanut butter and yogurt. So definitely my ability to digest is declining. My left hip really, really hurts. I did buy a cane, but I found that was actually kind of hard to use because of upper body strength and stuff. So I ordered a little basic stool with wheels on it so I could just kind of wheel around my house. And I was even thinking about, going to the bathroom in the middle of the night is kind of painful because of my right hip walking. And then I look beyond that and it's like, I don't want to be bedridden. I don't want to, it's one thing to be childlike and happy. And, it's another thing to have to go back to being baby-like, right? When you've been taught to be so independent your whole life. And I'm not looking forward to it. So yesterday, I think, I did distract myself for a while. I'm getting more comfortable in my hospital bed. I have a TV. And so I binge watched North to North, which I really love, by the way. It's on Netflix. So it's okay when you're sitting on the surfboard and you see the storm coming or the big wave, or you've been brought down to the bottom of the mountain, to sit for a while and say, shit, how am I gonna do this? Right? Because it sounds so easy when I'm at the top of the mountain teaching, right? But I think it's more real when I'm at the bottom, which is that's where you need the teaching, right? So I just want to say, even though we do want to get to the top of the mountain or learn to surf or get back on our surfboard, when the storm is coming, it's okay to distract yourself for a little while. It's way more than okay to look at the storm and go, shit, how am I going to do this? But the one thing I know is I've surfed and I've gone through many storms and big waves, is it doesn't really matter how you are before the storm comes. It's okay to look at it and be like, it matters more how you are as you're starting to go through it. And this is where I've learned to surrender to the wave, to the climb. Because if I fight it, I'm going to suffer. So I have to get myself eventually into the mental space of this is okay, it's fine. And I also know when you get through the wave, when you get through the big storm, there is a prize at the end. Maybe it's courage. Maybe with radical vulnerability comes extreme connection and trust. So anyway, I just wanted to add that this morning because it can sound all easy and sunshine and rainbows when you're at the top of the mountain or you're surfing and it's sunny. But then when you see the wave or the height that you're going to have to climb or the storm, it's also okay to go, holy F, what am I going to do? And it's okay to distract yourself for a day or two, to come up with a plan. Always come up with a plan. Always be proactive. That is one of my things I would leave behind. The more proactive you are, the more you plan for the storm, it will be easier. Notice I said easier and not easy, because you'll have the right equipment. And you'll also want to surrender to it. Go to the path of least resistance. And to, try to keep a positive mindset as much as possible while going through it. It's okay to be angry. But I think if you're at least just more focused or neutral, it's going to be easier, not easy. Anyway, I just wanted to throw this on the end because most of the time when people hear my messages, they might be in a down place. And if they only hear me speak from up on the mountain, or when things are going right, they're going to call bullshit on me. So I just want to say that I'm not always at the top of the mountain, that I am in the trenches with people, that I too have my days of looking ahead and going, well shit, this is what's coming. And maybe what I'll do, and I might leave it on the comments below, and this is very fitting because the band also has my name in it. It's the Wailing Jennies, and I think it's called Storm Comin'. So if it's on YouTube, I'll put the link in the description below, and if it's on Facebook, I'll put it in the comments. And I give you the challenge of listening to that song, because it basically says a storm's coming. Don't run for cover, because the storm will eventually wash you clean. It'll give you that gift. It'll give you love. So I just felt like I had to do this teaching when I was also on my surfboard looking at the storm coming.